A lot of you will have heard about Neuron, but I'm just going to give you a little bit more information on exactly how Neuron works, our process that we work through. So we work in a 3-step process with Neuron. The problem that we identified with estate agents and their websites is that the way it works for most estate agents is you go to a website company, they say, okay, pick a template, and they've got thousands to choose from, and you get overloaded, you don't really know which one to go with, so you sort of go, yeah, that one looks good. And then I go, great, okay, well, we'll make that, and if you give us your text and your images, and we'll connect up the properties and make it live. And you get a bit stuck because you're not a copywriter, and for many of you, you may not have been through the process of actually formally identifying what the company stands for and all of the sort of things that you might need on a website to be quite concise. You haven't got imagery, you haven't got video, you haven't got really much to put there. So what you end up doing is copying and pasting some shit text from another estate agent's website, or getting ChatGPT to write you something very generic, and you put that on there for the time being. It ends up staying there. You get some stock images of some people shaking hands and looking happy, and your website's live. And at the end of it, you're kind of a bit like, this is just a bit crap. You find yourself making changes to it to try and improve it, but it just doesn't really do anything. And this is a key part of the problem that we found over doing 2 years of research on what happens with estate agents' websites and why they don't like them. So our infrastructure at Neuron is completely different to that. What happens with us is that we work in 3 specific phases, and you can leave at any one of those phases, but independently, they all have a value. So we break the entire cost of the website down into 3 sections. And the first section is based around really getting to grips with us and you agreeing and understanding who you are and what you stand for. And that's not an easy project to go through, but we will use our own expertise and the people that we've got in-house to be able to work with you. We're not going to ask you the simple question, what do you stand for? We will spend a day with you going through general questions whereby you're just giving us information, and we will then go away over the course of 2 to 3 weeks working on that document without your help in the background to actually create the DNA of your company and come back and say, okay, as a team, this is who we are. This is what you stand for. This is who you are trying to reach. This is who you are not trying to reach. This is your tone of voice. This is who the company is. And we can tweak it and we can play with it until we get to the stage whereby you agree and we know exactly who the company is and what you stand for. That's stage 1. Stage 2, we will then send in the UK's top videography company and get the content created. We've got a tight partnership with PVS Media, and they will come to your location and film videos based on the mainframe document that we've already created. So we'll ask for their expertise on, like, how do we bring this to life through video? What is it that we're going to talk about and how we're going to do it? They will come and they will spend a day with you creating content, getting professional headshots, and really making everything that your company stands for come to life. From there, what we will do is we will then start piecing all of the website together, and it should come out the other end being the most amazing thing that you've ever seen. So the actual style of the website is not that big a deal. Pretty much every style you can think of is already sitting out there on the internet. There's no point in us getting too caught up on that. Almost every website you look at is a similar style. We'll do the work of finding a style that we think works for what you've told us in the mainframe document. And we'll come back to you with maybe a couple of options and go, look, we think this style would really work, and this is the reason why we think this style would work. If you don't like that, here's a second option. That's not that complicated a process. The complicated part starts with, like, okay, now how do we take that style, what you've told us in the mainframe document, all the content, and really bring this company into truly representing your business online so that somebody is getting the same experience when they hit your website as they would get if they was to actually visit your office. That's how Neuron works. Now, where does User Engage come into that? Here's the clever part. When someone visits your website that is already known inside your ecosystem, i.e. lifecycle, User will know, and it can scan all of lifecycle faster than you can blink your eye and recreate the content that is on the web page. As an example, you might have a home page whereby you've got a nice video at the top that represents the company, then maybe a property search, then maybe some testimonials, maybe some guides after that. If I've had a market appraisal from you, and I live in a 3-bedroom semi-detached house on the Nightingale estate, when I visit the website, Uzer can know that faster than it takes for the page to load, and suddenly the banner at the top is talking about the fact that we are the most successful estate agent in the Nightingale estate. The property search has been removed and the testimonials are up the top, and the next thing down is something around the idea of wanting to instruct us. If I've done an instant valuation or used Uzer Engage to become a lead, but I haven't yet done a market appraisal, when I visit the site, it can change to push me towards actually doing a market appraisal. So it might talk about the fact that we're the top performing agent in the area. If you've ever done an online valuation, you might want to actually get someone round face to face. All the sort of things that you've spoken about before in your nurture journeys, you can now actually start to become a reality on the website. For those of you that have got guides, if it knows that I'm a first-time buyer, it can be promoting a first-time buyer guide. If it knows that I'm a downsizer, it can be promoting a downsizer guide. All of these things to make you much more useful, continue to have more touch points, work on that 7-11-4 process, and turn those leads into committed customers. So you can see now how Uzer Engage is taking a general website visitor. If you've just got a standard property website, they're going to hit your website, you're never going to know any more about it. Uzer Engage is going to try and get them and turn them into a lead that sits inside your lifecycle system. Now, that's one big ecosystem. If you've got a Neuron website, what's happening is when that person hits your website, because you're nurturing them and sending them blog content and they're continually going back there, the website's changing and it's putting the right information in front of them to try and nudge them through the funnel to becoming a committed customer. In the future, what could happen with Uzer Engage, or what will happen with Uzer Engage? Again, we already know the enhancements that will happen on Uzer Engage from a business to consumer point of view, and it will put you right at the forefront of artificial intelligence and allowing people to really come to your website and probably just have more of a conversation with your AI about what it is that they're looking for. And the AI will then be able to present them the properties that match against what they're looking for, could work based on what they're looking for. And the whole thing will just become much more of a two-way conversation whereby we can build that trust that somebody has, and you'll be able to use it as a unique selling point over some of your other estate agents who are going to start to look decidedly out of date pretty fast if what they've got sitting on their website is an instant valuation tool and a form.